Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm sharing my unique critical pulse build focusing on status damage and magazine capacity for a fun, versatile playstyle that still packs a punch. Let's dive into how I built this beast to fire 2 arrows at once and dominate mobs in the manabus scenario. So, why this build? My critical pulse setup is a bit different from the typical builds out there that focus on elemental damage and reload speed. I've gone all in on status damage and magazine capacity because it suits my playstyle perfectly. It's super fun to play and it lets me handle huge groups of mobs while still delivering insane damage to tougher enemies. The key feature? This build gives my crossbow a 2-arrow chamber instead of 1, doubling my versatility. Sure, it might not hit as hard as elemental-focused builds, but trust me, it's a blast to use. To get that 2-arrow chamber, you need to boost your magazine capacity by 50%. I'll show you 2 approaches to achieve this, an easy way that sacrifices some damage mods and a harder way that keeps the recommended mods while grinding for specific nodes. Both builds use the same gear setup, 4 pieces of the Treacherous set for survivability, 1 Mayfly goggle for utility, and 1 piece of the Lone Wolf set, which gives a 10% boost to magazine capacity right off the bat. Let's break down each approach. First up, the easy way to build your critical pulse for a 2-arrow chamber. This approach sacrifices some damage mods to hit that 50% magazine capacity, but it's straightforward and still effective. Here's the setup. Key mods for magazine capacity. On the headgear, use the Mag Expansion mod. This gives a 30% magazine capacity increase upon reloading, bringing you to 40% with the Lone Wolf piece. For the last 10%, I use the Reload Rampage mod, which has a golden node for a 12% magazine capacity boost. Plus, its passive skill reduces reload stress, letting you keep dealing damage without constant interruptions. Other mods: Weapon, Static Shock with Power Surge keyword suffix. Focus on nodes for power surge damage, shock damage, or damage to enemies with power surge status, or combine all 3 if you're lucky. Mask, Thunderclap with Power Surge suffix to amplify your status damage. Top Gear, Ardent Shield with Lunar suffix to support the shield from the Treacherous set. Gloves, Status Enhancement with Talent suffix. Shoes, Covered Advance with Talent suffix. Node Priorities, 4 Lunar suffix. Focus on status damage and elemental damage, then pick either damage to Great Ones or Elites. For Talent suffix, prioritize status damage as the second node, then go for damage to Great Ones or Elites. Don't worry about damage to normal enemies, you'll one-shot them anyway with this build. This setup gets you to 50% magazine capacity easily, giving you that 2-arrow chamber while maintaining solid status damage output. Now, the hard way, for those who don't want to sacrifice the recommended mods for a critical pulse build. This approach keeps your damage high but requires grinding for specific nodes. Here's the mod list: Weapon, Static Shock with Talent suffix. Headgear, Work of Proficiency with Lunar suffix. Mask, Thunderclap with Power Surge suffix. Top Gear, Ardent Shield with Lunar suffix. Bottom Gear, Abnormal Increase with Talent suffix. Gloves, Status Enhancement with Talent suffix. Shoes, Covered Advance with Talent suffix. Grinding focus, you'll need to farm mods with golden nodes that give magazine capacity as a second or third option. Aim for at least 40% from these nodes to combine with the 10% from Lone Wolf. Alongside that, prioritize nodes for status damage, damage to Great Ones, or damage to Elites. Again, skip damage to normal enemies, you don't need it. This method takes more effort, but you'll maintain high elemental and status damage while still hitting that 2-arrow chamber goal. So, how does this build play? With the 2-arrow chamber, you can fire off quick double shots, making it a breeze to clear huge waves of mobs. The status damage focus, especially with Power Surge and Shock, lets you melt Elites and Great Ones, even if your raw damage isn't the highest. A few tips. 1. Since you are using Treacherous set, you have to keep your health at least below 40% HP with a low sanity. This will allow you to boost status and weapon damage due to the set passive skills. That means you have to avoid using coneflower as the ingredients of any food buff related to prevent your sanity from healing, particularly the whimsical drink that increase your status damage by 25%. Instead, use bellflower as additional ingredients to boost up the status damage bonus on whimsical drink. 2. Prioritize status damage node on your second option's damage mods after mag capacity. 3. If you're struggling with reloads, the Reload Rampage mod from the easy build can help, even if you go the hard route. 4. Keep grinding for better nodes, those golden magazine capacity nodes are worth the effort. And that's my critical pulse build for Once Human. Whether you go the easy route with mag expansion or grind for the hard route with optimal mods, the status damage and magazine capacity setup is a ton of fun and super versatile. It's perfect for clearing mobs and still dishes out insane damage to tougher enemies. Thanks to everyone who commented on the last video. This one's for you. If you like this build guide, hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you're trying this out or have your own critical pulse build to share. Stay tuned for more Once Human tips, and I'll see you in the next video.